Cool. Just tell us about your debut in Nevada, I guess, with the Penn State game. How'd that go for you?
No, yeah, it was a fun environment to play in. Definitely the biggest stadium I've ever played in, but it was fun. We got to go out there and compete. I feel like we played some pretty good defense out there, but outcome wasn't exactly what we wanted. But we're looking towards next week, improve, build upon what we started already with. So.
Coming from the FCS ranks and going into that stadium.
Yeah, definitely a lot different than like an FCS stadium. I played at Southeast Missouri, and our stadium probably maybe held like 15,000 people. So 106 was, you could feel it in your bones whenever they got loud at the beginning of the game. It was fun.
I guess how does that kind of show you what you're capable of doing going against talent like that?
I've played against some like Big Ten opponents before, so I feel like I play up in those games. Whenever the competition's at the highest, I think I play my best. So.
And what got you to Nevada? Obviously, like we said, you've been at the FCS level for a while. I guess walk us through your recruitment coming all the way up to the West Coast.
Yeah, for sure. So I have 1 year left to my grad transfer, so I just wanted to continue to be competitive. I have a competitive nature. I want to play at the highest level I can. And Nevada gave me that opportunity. I felt good about the coaches, coaching staff, Coach P, Coach Scho, Coach Tevis, my D-line coaches. And so that's really what it was, the coaches, the culture, the people here.
Is that something where you just put your name in the portal and they reach out, or was there a link to the staff here that you had known about them and they had known about you prior?
No, yeah, that they just reached out. Coach Tevis got in contact with me first, I'm pretty sure. And from there, you just conversations, went on a couple different visits, and then ended up choosing Nevada. I'm happy with my choice for sure.
Yeah, how surprised were you to hear from the Wolfpack, given how far away it is?
Yeah. I didn't really know a whole lot about University of Nevada beforehand. And it was the West Coast. I thought Nevada was just a desert. I get out here, see mountains everywhere, go to Lake Tahoe. It's nice out here. I enjoy it.
What were some of the other schools you were looking at?
I was looking at UConn and then James Madison.
Okay, so what's one year over to the Wolfpack?
Huh?
What made you pick Nevada?
It was really just the coaches and the culture. I felt like they had a good locker room, and they were very focused on bringing in the guys out that fit their program, fit their system, and fit the culture they're trying to build. And that's something that was important to me. That's something I had in my last school too, and I wanted to make sure I had that again. So.
Long time coming to get to the FBS. I guess what does it mean to get to this level?
Yeah.
I guess why did it take so long? Why were you overlooked?
No, yeah, like coming out of high school, I thought I was going to go to Wyoming, but things fall through. Like they do a lot of recruiting, and I ended up going to an FCS school. Went to a couple different FCS schools before I got here. It's just you play wherever you get the chance to, and you just make the most of it. And then eventually, I feel it's going to work out the way it's supposed to. And I just think this is the way it's supposed to work out for me right now. So happy to be here.
What happened with Wyoming? I know you guys played them this year. Is that game going to be kind of special for you?
Yeah, I don't even know if any of that coaching staff is still there anymore, honestly. But that was a long time ago. But it was just they were pretty honest with me. Told it was between me and another guy, and then choosing the other guy. So it's just how it goes.
Gotcha. What do you think you bring to Nevada? Maybe the position with Black, or the youth bolster.
Yeah. I feel like just pass rush ability. Just energy. I'm always go 100%, make plays when they come my way. Just be a good team. I feel like that's what I try to do every day.
And I know Coach Sho's been very complimentary of your pass rushing skills. I guess where does that come from? Why have you excelled in that area?
Yeah, that's something that I've been developing throughout my time in college. It takes work to build those skills, and just over time I've been able to build those quickness, agility. Being able to understand what kind of set you're getting and know what to do from there. So it just takes time sometimes.
You have a favorite move?
My favorite move, I like the long arm. Just power move, speed to power conversion. And then whenever I get them, or I get them jump set me, or I get them guessing, that's when I can hit them with some finesse.
What's the transition been like, just coming out here to a place you hadn't been to, a new program?
I would say, it was good. Whenever I first got out here, I had a long trip over here, and then summer I got adjusted, acclimated to the weather, the altitude, and then also just the people, the cultures, the culture. And the transition was very good. They made it easy for me. They made it smooth. A lot of stuff in football it transfers over pretty well if you're in a similar system. So.
Looking at the Penn State game, what's the thing that you're most proud of that Dubuque was able to do going against one of the nation's top teams?
Yeah, definitely. We held them to, I think there are two top running backs at 62 yards rushing overall, which they're two very good running backs, and to be able to hold them to that number was showing how well our defensive line and linebackers front seven can really play.
What do you think was the key to that success in the run defense?
Yeah, I feel like run defense. Just do your job. Coach preaches that all the time. DYJ, do your job. Make sure you're in your gap, your position, keep your leverage. And we did that pretty well. We tackled as a group. It took a couple people to bring them down, but we got it done.
So what's the transition going from that number 2 team in the country to an FCS school and keeping that intensity in San Marcos?
Yeah, I feel like another thing Coach really focuses on is focus on us. It's really about us. It's not about the opponent every week. if you go out there and prepare the right way and you do things you're supposed to, the outcome is going to end up how it should be.
Tell us a little bit about Sacramento State. What have you learned about them in the lead-up process? They have a kind of unique go-go offensive style.
I think their coach came from UNLV, so they had like that go-go triple option. We've been practicing that a lot. Just, it's something you don't see all the time. And it's something you want to make sure you know who fits where to make sure there aren't any busting coverage or place games and stuff like that.
Is that something you guys have looked at all before this week, like in the ramp-up in the off-season, or is it just you hit on Sunday and now you're focused on it?
No, I feel like you pretty much focus on one opponent at a time. You don't really look too far ahead, you don't look too far behind. So, up till now, we were focused on Penn State, and then starting this week, he's focused on them. That's where our focus is at right now.
You've been at the FCS level playing up to the FBS. I guess, what is that feeling like when you're in the locker room of the FCS school going and playing in at FBS?
No, it's definitely one of those games for an FCS school that you want to go win, You want to go prove yourselves, prove that, hey, I can really do this, that maybe they feel overlooked, like they have the talent to be playing at a higher level. They're definitely going to be coming after it, so we got to be ready and get their best shot for sure.
They've got some talented guys. I know a lot of transfers from high-level schools. Anybody kind of catch your eye this far? I know they've only played one game.
I mean, they have a couple different quarterbacks they play. I've noticed that one's more of a passer, one's more of an athletic runner type of guy. So that's something we got to really keep our eye on. Who's in the game? Make sure that we have an understanding of what's going to happen.
How tough is that? Just to know that they're two different guys.
No, I mean, I feel like it can help sometimes too if you know what one guy likes to do more than the other. If you know like the runners in the game, you can be a little more alert to that.
Only 4 sacks for this program last year in 13 games. I guess how much did they stress to you? Like, hey, we're bringing you in to bolster this number?
No, that's definitely one of the things that they wanted me to come in here and do. And just the whole D-line as a group, honestly. He said, Coach talks about the edges, our jobs to affect the quarterback. Pressures, hurries, sacks, all those type of things, And affecting the quarterback isn't always a sack. Sometimes it's just getting him off the spot. Someone else gets a sack. Just doing your job and making plays happen.
How did you feel like you guys did against Penn State in that area?
No, I feel like we got the quarterback off the spot a couple times. I think we had 1 sack with the D-line. I think we might have another one. I think we might have 2 sacks that game. But against a pretty good offensive line, pretty good team. But that's something we can continue to build on. We can definitely clean some stuff up, pass rushing wise.
How does playing against that level prepare you for the rest of the season? You're probably not going to see players of that caliber, the remaining of the slate.
I feel like it just sets the tone off right. For sure, you're gonna go out there, play against some of the best competition you're doing this all year. You can get an understanding of where you're at as a player, and then where you need to improve on, what you need to, what weaknesses you have. They'll definitely expose that kind of thing. So I feel it was good for us to play such a good team first game.
Certainly some silver linings out of that game, but not a win. How important is it to get a win this week and start to build that momentum?
Momentum is crucial right now. We gotta build momentum right now by focusing on something like winning this game, and then be able to carry that throughout the upcoming weeks.
2 o'clock kickoff should be really good weather-wise. What are you expecting from the atmosphere of your first game at Mackey Stadium?
I've heard that it gets pretty windy up here at game time. I've felt the wind sometimes, but they say it always chooses to be super windy when it's a game time. So just be ready for that. They might be forced to put the ball around a little bit more if it's super windy. But atmosphere-wise, I'm just ready to go out there and play. I don't really care too much about that. If it's rain, storm, whatever, I'm ready.
Coach Schutt seemed pretty animated at the end of practice. I guess, what did you take from that message?
He's just a passionate guy. He wants us to have that same kind of passion. And sometimes if you come out there a little slow, he's gonna get on you. And that's what ended up happening today. He wasn't happy with how we went out there and started the practice, but we're gonna respond to that. And that's another thing he's always preaching to respond. So we're gonna do that tomorrow, Friday, Saturday.
I don't know how involved you were with the Marion Motley wearing number 41 deal. Does that mean anything special to you? I don't know if you had much history on him before you came to this program.
They showed us a video about it. That was the first time I really heard his story. That's very, very crazy how he got so much support from the community, and I feel like that's really something that Williams about. The community really backs us. I'm hoping that's something that can continue more throughout the season as we start to build that momentum. The backing from the community, and it's cool that we're going to have a player wearing that number 41 to represent him.
You also broke the color barrier for pro football. What would it mean to you, I guess, to wear that 41 at some point during the year?
That'll be pretty cool thing for me for sure.
Awesome. All we got for you. Thanks for your time.